Marcus Vegas here with Cat Zingano. And Cat, it's been a while since MMA fans have seen you. I know you've been out for quite some time. How you been, and how are you feeling at this point?
I'm good, and I've been feeling pretty good. You know, I feel like I did everything I needed to do as far as taking care of my body and my mind and everything to get excited and motivated to be back walking into that octagon. Yeah, it's been some time off, but, you know, less time than I took after an injury and after some personal tragedy, you know, so like, you know, and I came back from those and had a successful fight. So, you know, realistically, I'm not too worried about the time off. I'm just, you know, excited to get back in there, and the motivation and excitement is all I really need to go in there and do a good job.
You know, the last time fans saw you was that fight with Ronda Rousey. In any way, has it been difficult to get past that in terms of having that's the last thing in your mind in terms of your professional career, or you've already used that and gotten past it?
I mean, I was upset, obviously. I was upset for a bit, and, you know, but I hated that feeling, and I wanted to make sure that feeling was not something that I, you know, ever felt again. And obviously this sport is hit or miss with how things go, but I feel like it definitely motivated me to make sure that I take care of everything that I possibly can control and focus on the things that I need to do in order to go out and do my best. I hated that feeling, and I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that I overcome and come back even stronger and fix the holes that I'm sure were there that I either noticed or didn't notice. So, you know, I'm out here. I changed a lot of things, and I'm just excited.
I know with some fighters, when they experience a loss like that, they take it differently. We've seen with Ronda, it's kind of been difficult for her with this loss. With other fighters, like I mentioned, it's different. Anyway, was it extremely difficult for you to get over that, to get over those feelings and emotions that you had? Or was it something because of what you experienced in the past that it wasn't really that big of a thing because you've dealt with a lot more difficult things?
Well, on that note, I mean, a fight is a choice. An MMA fight, especially, it's a choice. I sign a contract. I'm getting paid. I have certain obligations I have to do. I mean, there's an extent to it that's very expected. You know, a lot of things that happen in life are not expected, and you are forced to adapt. You're forced to change. You know, and a lot of those things that are painful, you know, are not a choice. This MMA fight, there's pain involved, but it's a choice. I agree. You know, so that being said, yeah, I mean, it hurt to lose, and it felt. It was definitely not to my capacity of the caliber of fighter I am, the way I lost. And it was a slap in the face that humbled me, you know, and made me completely change a work ethic. You know, some of the other things that happen in your life, it's not the same, but, you know, also makes you just, you know, analyze and relook at the things that I guess you want in your life, and the time you spend, and the ways that you know, conduct yourself. And I don't know. I think Ronda taking time off, I mean, she paved a huge road for us. I think she deserves to take a minute to herself. And I think any fighter, you know, should come back and fight healthy. You know, I'm much more healthy now that I've taken the time to work on my heart and to work on, you know, my physiology and my body and those things that you know, when you're in a peak level, then you get peak performance. That's what the fans should want to see, is these healthy athletes. And right now, if she's not feeling healthy, then give her time. You know, I took my time. It probably wasn't, you know, the best thing for the fans and for the company to see and understand, but at the end of the day, I need to walk away from this sport being happy with my accomplishments and knowing that I did what was right for me.
You got to be salivating to get back at this point, seeing how things have played out in the division with Holly now having that title, right?
Holly doesn't have the title. Misha has the title.
Excuse me, Misha. Yeah.
No, you're good. Yeah. It was interesting. I mean, having beaten Misha and to watch her beat Holly that night, I was like, no, she doesn't get to be champion. You know, like, and it did put a fire under me to you know, to check myself. You know, I had just gotten back from Thailand. I really wanted to immerse myself in the kickboxing culture, because they're not going to take it easy on me. You know, they're going to kick my ass, and they're going to make me do hard work, and I'm getting through it, and I got through it, and I came home and I was pumped and excited and really considering what I wanted to do next. And then I watched that fight, and I was just like, No. You know, this is you know, had I not taken the time off or whatever, who knows where I would have been in the mix of that. However, that wasn't the right decision for me at the time. Like, I needed to take the time off. I needed it for myself. I needed it for my son. I needed it for healing necessary, both physically and mentally. And that was just the best thing for me to do. So yes, this is what we have in front of us. This is you know, the problem solving that I have to do right now. And, you know, hopefully I'm very focused on this fight coming up on July 9th. And I'm ready to do what it takes to go out there and do my best. And hopefully that affords me another title contention. And at that point, you know, we'll see. You know, I'm excited to either rematch one of them or see what the UFC puts in front of me. But one way or the other, I'm ready, I'm pumped, and I'll deal with whatever they put in front of me.
Opponent officially announced yet for that date?
For me? Yeah. UFC 200, July 9th with Julianna Pena.
All right. And on that note, because it's been such a long time since people have seen you, and I know you've mentioned that you feel like a whole new person with new skills, what's the one most important thing that you want to show to people given that aspect?
So, can you say that again?
What's the one thing that you want people to come away with, given that you made all these changes from the performance you're hoping to have on July 9th?
You know, I think just resilience, figuring it out. You know, if you're not happy, change things, and just find a way to move forward in any capacity. You know, I'm satisfied with the way things were, but I want better for myself. You know, so just making the necessary adjustments to get myself to the optimal level where I'm achieving my goals in a way that I can be proud of.
Are you a fan of catchweight fights? And I'm asking that because we saw one with Cyborg, and is that something you'd be open to?
I think the best part about fighting is like the old school ways where it's just like, I wonder what happens with this person versus this person. This person knows this person knows that. Now as the sport's evolved, you know, we all have similar skill sets because everyone trains in everything, which leaves that kind of mystery up to what would happen with this person versus this person. And I mean, I've always just wondered, like, I want to know what happens when I would fight that person, when I would fight that person. So, I mean, catchweights, especially being a bigger girl, if we got to just kind of meet wherever made sense, I think that would be awesome. You know, I hope there's some evolution in that. I hope that the UFC wants to just put on these exciting fights and see what happens with it.
Do you want to know against her? Do you have that question? Against Cyborg? Do you want to know personally how you would do against her?
Oh, absolutely. I want to know how I do against everyone. I want to see. I'm curious. You know, I like her. I think she's a really, really good athlete. She's super tough and strong, and I want to see how tough and strong.
All right, July 9th, right? UFC 200. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Cat.
Thank you.